Since you are quite successful in translating your research, I guess you will be the correct person to answer.
Okay.
Like, what are the skills the young researchers should develop if they want to translate their findings into a real-world application?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think part of it is, one is perseverance. You have to persevere in research, right? Not every research question is going to be perfectly answered. Not every experiment is going to be perfect. So that same perseverance should carry over to entrepreneurial activities. In a way, being an entrepreneur and researcher are very identical. The outputs might be a little bit different, but you're doing groundbreaking work. You're innovating in a new business model in research. You're innovating in a new scientific finding. Nobody's ever laid the groundwork. You're kind of trailblazing and pioneering. It's not always perfect. It's not always easy. You have to persevere. So there's a lot of similarities. It is a different maybe way of looking at the work you do, because as a researcher, you always want to find that next innovative solution, or you want to answer the next scientific question. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to know when this is enough for me to get the thing out there, right? Researchers are great at being translators, but at the same time, you have to know when it's good enough. And as academics and researchers, we don't know when it's good enough. We'd always try to polish that paper, right? The other thing I learned early on is that pair yourself up with another entrepreneur. Like, I never done this by myself. And so I worked with other colleagues, even great mentors who did this themselves, right? They were academics and researchers that spun out companies, and I just partnered up with them and worked with them. And then slowly over time, you just learn how to do it on your own. I think being willing to collaborate and work with other entrepreneurs is the best thing you could do, because it's just like in research, you can't do these things alone.